Earth's military sent one man into an alien wilderness, expecting him to die. What came back 90 days later made every general in the room go silent, because standing at the shuttle door wasn't a broken survivor. It was a human leading a pack of apex predators that shouldn't obey anyone. And in his hands, recipe cards for food no human had ever tasted. The council thought they were sending Lieutenant Jake Morrison to his death. They called it a survival test, but the cameras showed something impossible. A lone human walking through territory where 100-pound carnivores hunted in packs. And those same predators, they were following him like trained dogs. But here's what they didn't show on the news feeds. Jake didn't just survive. He rewrote the rules of an entire ecosystem. And when he returned, he brought back 3 things that terrified Earth's leadership. First, behavioral patterns that made alien predators choose him over their own instincts. Second, a food preservation system that shouldn't work according to our physics. Third, proof that humans possess one ability every other species in the galaxy fears. The truth behind this will shock you, because this wasn't about survival skills. This was about a biological advantage humans have carried for 200,000 years. An advantage we stopped noticing. An advantage that turns us into the most dangerous species in any wilderness. I'm going to show you exactly what happened on Planet Verglas. How one human turned a death sentence into a domestication project. How he created meals from plants that poison every other known species. And why the Galactic Council now debates whether humans should be allowed on frontier worlds. You'll see the moment predators abandon their pack hierarchy to follow human commands. The chemical compound Jake discovered that makes alien biology behave like Earth animals. And the final transmission that made the Council realize they'd made a catastrophic mistake about human limitations. This story reveals why humans keep shocking alien species, why our methods seem like magic, and why one lieutenant with basic camping knowledge accomplished what trained xenobiologists said was impossible. Let me show you exactly how this happened. The Galactic Council runs survival tests for every species joining their alliance. Standard procedure: they pick a frontier planet, drop one member of your species with minimal supplies. 90 days later, they retrieve whoever survived. Most species pass by hiding. Some pass by adapting. Humans were the first species in Council history to pass by making the planet adapt to them. Planet Verglas sits in the Outer Rim territories. 20-hour days, 3 moons. Gravity that's 12% heavier than Earth. The ecosystem evolved around megafauna, creatures that make Earth's bears look like house cats. The apex predator is called a Rixhound, 8 feet at the shoulder, jaws that crush titanium alloys. Pack hunters with intelligence that rivals dolphins. The Council chose Verglas specifically to humble humanity. We'd been too confident during first contact, too quick to claim we could handle any environment. They wanted to show us our place in the galactic hierarchy. Lieutenant Jake Morrison volunteered when others refused, not because he was braver, because he'd grown up on a ranch in Montana fixing everything with duct tape and creativity. His military file showed wilderness survival training. His psych profile showed something more interesting, an unshakable belief that any animal could be understood. The Council gave Jake the standard kit: water purifier, emergency beacon, protein bars for 30 days, a knife. They dropped him in Verglas' northern continent, right in Rixhound territory. 90% of test subjects in this zone lasted less than a week. Here's the first surprise. Jake didn't run from the Rixhounds. He tracked them. While Council observers watched through orbital satellites expecting a quick death, Jake spent 3 days following a pack, not attacking, not hiding, just observing, writing notes on bark with charcoal, watching how they communicated. The second surprise came on day 12. Jake started leaving food near pack dens, not his rations. He was trapping Verglas's rabbit analogs using snares made from vine fiber, leaving the kills at strategic locations. The Rixhounds noticed. They stopped seeing him as prey. They started seeing him as part of the ecosystem. But here's what confused the observers. Jake wasn't following standard xenobiology protocols. He was treating these aliens like Earth dogs, using body language that shouldn't translate across species, making eye contact in ways that should trigger aggression. Every textbook said it would fail. It didn't fail. By day 30, Rixhounds were approaching Jake's camp voluntarily. By day 45, the pack's beta female let Jake touch her. By day 60, Jake was sleeping next to a 300-pound predator that could kill him in seconds. The Council's xenobiologists had no explanation. The lead observer filed a report suggesting the cameras malfunctioned, because what they were seeing violated everything they knew about cross-species behavior. Now here's where things get really interesting. Jake wasn't using magic. He was using mirror neurons, a biological system that most galactic species lost millions of years ago. But humans kept it, and it turns us into the universe's most dangerous domesticators. Mirror neurons fire when you perform an action and when you watch someone else perform that action. They're why you flinch when someone else gets hurt, why babies copy facial expressions, why humans can learn complex skills just by observation. Most alien species need direct genetic memory or technological implants to transfer knowledge. Humans just watch and understand. The Rixhounds had mirror neurons too. Verglas' ecosystem required it. Pack hunting depends on rapid communication, reading intentions, anticipating movements. When Jake performed calm, deliberate actions around them, their mirror neurons interpreted it as pack behavior. Here's the specific moment it clicked. Day 18. Jake was cleaning a caught animal. A young Rixhound approached. Jake didn't run, didn't threaten. He kept cleaning. Then he tossed a piece of meat toward the Rixhound. Not at it, near it, an offering. The Rixhound's mirror neurons fired. It recognized gift-giving behavior, a concept that only exists in social species. The animal took the meat, ate it, then sat down 20 feet away. It stayed for 4 hours, just watching Jake work. That's when Jake realized something the Council's experts missed. These predators weren't just smart. They were lonely. Their planet had no other species operating at their cognitive level. No peers, no cross-species relationships. They had pack bonds, but no diversity of interaction. Jake gave them something new, a creature that communicated through gesture and pattern, that shared food without competing, that showed calm confidence instead of fear or aggression. The Rixhound's social brains lit up with novel stimulation. By day 35, Jake had identified the pack's hierarchy through observation. Alpha male, alpha female, 3 betas, 7 juveniles. He knew which animals were bold, which were cautious, which were curious. He started tailoring his interactions. More meat for the alpha male, grooming attempts near the beta female, play behavior with juveniles. The footage shows something extraordinary. Jake wasn't training these animals. He was joining their society, learning their rules, operating within their social structure. Humans do this instinctively. We've been doing it for thousands of years with wolves, horses, cats, birds. The Council observers recorded 93 distinct communication signals Jake developed with the pack. Head tilts that meant, "I'm not a threat," hand gestures that indicated direction, whistle patterns that called specific animals. None of this was in his training. He invented it by watching and responding. Here's what makes this terrifying to other species. Jake accomplished in 60 days what galactic xenobiologists said required generations of genetic engineering. He created cross-species cooperation using nothing but observation and empathy. No technology, no chemical compounds, just biological systems that humans evolved naturally. The lead Rixhound researcher watching the feeds sent a classified message to the Council. 4 words that changed everything. Humans domesticate by instinct. But Jake wasn't done shocking them, because while he was building relationships with apex predators, he was also solving a problem that killed the last 3 test subjects on Verglas. The food problem. Every plant on that planet was toxic to species not adapted to its chemistry. The protein bars would run out. Jake needed to eat local food or starve. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. Jake started eating Verglas plants on day 22. Plants that contained compounds lethal to every other species in the galaxy. And his body processed them like they were nothing. Because humans have the most aggressive digestive system in known space. The human gut is a chemical warfare laboratory. Stomach acid at pH 1.5, strong enough to dissolve metal. A liver that filters toxins other species can't survive. Intestinal bacteria that break down compounds alien biologies can't touch. For 2 million years, humans ate carrion, raw meat, fermented foods, and plants that would kill pickier species. We became chemical resistant through sheer evolutionary stubbornness. Jake figured this out by experimenting. He started with tiny amounts, chewed a leaf, waited 4 hours. No reaction. Tried more. His human gut bacteria went to work breaking down alien compounds, converting toxins to energy. By day 30, Jake was eating 6 different Verglas plants. None of them appeared on Council-safe food lists. But here's where it gets interesting. Jake didn't just eat these plants raw. He started cooking them, processing them, creating recipes. The footage shows him building a clay oven from river mud, fermenting seeds in water, smoking meat over specific wood that changed the flavor. He was applying human food technology, methods we developed over 50,000 years, methods that make Earth the galaxy's most diverse food culture. Other species eat nutrition paste or single-ingredient meals. Humans transform ingredients. We combine. We ferment. We apply heat and chemistry to create entirely new compounds. It's not just eating, it's cuisine, and it's unique to us. Jake created 17 dishes during his 90 days. Smoked Rixhound kills seasoned with crushed Verglas herbs. Fermented root vegetables that developed umami flavors. Soups that combined 3 plant species in ways that neutralized individual toxins. He kept notes on bark, wrote cooking times, documented which combinations worked. The Council observers couldn't understand why he wasted time on this. Why not just eat efficiently and focus on survival? They didn't understand human psychology. Cooking isn't just fuel for us. It's art. It's comfort. It's a way to maintain sanity in isolation. But cooking did something else. Something that shocked the xenobiologists watching. The smell of Jake's cooking attracted the Rixhounds even faster than raw meat. Because humans cooking create complex aromatic compounds. Hundreds of molecules released during heating and fermentation. Smells that trigger hunger and curiosity in any creature with a functioning nose. By day 50, Rixhounds were showing up at Jake's camp during meal preparation, sitting in a semicircle, watching him work. Jake started tossing them cooked portions. The predators ate enthusiastically. They preferred cooked meat to raw kills. Their digestive systems handled it better. Jake had accidentally improved their nutrition by applying human food technology. This revealed something profound. Humans don't just adapt to environments. We transform them. We turn survival into optimization. A council member watching the feeds called it aggressive problem-solving. A human anthropologist called it Tuesday. Jake's recipe cards became legendary. When he returned, Earth's military tried to classify them. The Council wanted them destroyed, because they proved something dangerous. Humans could potentially eat on any carbon-based planet. Our digestive flexibility made us universal colonizers. But there was one recipe Jake kept secret until the final debriefing. A fermented drink he made from Verglas fruit. It created mild intoxication in humans. Jake called it his celebration drink. The chemical analysis showed compounds that should cause liver failure. Jake's human liver filtered them like they were nothing. He'd accidentally created alien alcohol. The implications terrified the Council. If humans could process Verglas toxins into recreational compounds, what else could we convert? Could we mine planets through biological processing? Could we create medicines from things that poisoned everyone else? One human just demonstrated chemical flexibility the Council thought impossible. But here's the detail that made everything else seem small. Jake wasn't just cooking for himself anymore. By day 70, he was preparing meals for the Rixhounds, creating portion sizes, adjusting recipes for their biology. He'd turned a survival camp into a restaurant with a pack of predators as regular customers. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. On day 84, Jake did something that made the Council declare an emergency session. He domesticated the alpha female Rixhound, not through dominance, through trust. And when that animal chose him over her own species hierarchy, it revealed humanity's most dangerous trait. We don't conquer ecosystems. We seduce them. The footage shows the moment clearly. Jake had been ill for 3 days. Verglas has a parasite that attacks mammalian immune systems. His human biology fought it off, but it left him weak. Unable to hunt, low on food. The Rixhound pack knew he was vulnerable. In any normal predator scenario, this is when they attack. Weakness triggers hunting instinct, but these Rixhounds didn't attack. The alpha female brought Jake a kill, dragged a dead Verglas deer analog to his camp, dropped it at his feet, then lay down nearby, guarding him while he recovered. Jake didn't question it. He butchered the animal, cooked portions, fed the alpha female first. A gesture of respect. She ate from his hand. 75 pounds of predator accepting food from a sick primate. The other Rixhounds watched, learning. By day 86, Jake had 4 Rixhounds staying at his camp permanently. They'd abandoned their pack's territory to remain near him. Council observers reported this to xenobiology departments. The response was unanimous disbelief. Pack animals don't abandon their social structure for outsiders. It violates evolutionary programming. But humans change evolutionary programming. We've done it for 10,000 years. Wolves became dogs. Wildcats became pets. Horses became partners. We take apex predators and dangerous animals and turn them into family. We do it through patience, food, and consistent behavior. We do it by offering something their own species doesn't provide. Jake offered the Rixhounds variety, new experiences, novel food, emotional consistency. Humans are stable pack members. We remember, we reciprocate, we show gratitude. These are high-level social behaviors most predators only display within their species. Jake extended it across species lines. The alpha female began following Jake's commands by day 88. Simple ones. Stay. Come. Wait. She learned through repetition and reward. Jake wasn't using punishment, just positive reinforcement. Every correct behavior got rewarded with food or affection. Her mirror neurons created associations. Commands became predictions of positive outcomes. This is what domestication looks like in real time. Not dominance, not control. Partnership. Mutual benefit. The Rixhound got consistent food, protection during vulnerability, and social enrichment. Jake got protection, hunting assistance, and companionship. Both parties gained more than they sacrificed. But here's the moment that changed everything. Day 90. Extraction Day. The Council shuttle landed at the designated coordinates. Jake packed his notes, his recipe cards, his few possessions. The 4 Rixhounds watched. When Jake walked toward the shuttle, they followed. Council protocol required test subjects to return alone. No contamination from local species. The pilot ordered Jake to leave the animals. Jake refused. He'd made a promise to creatures that trusted him. He wouldn't betray that. The council faced an unprecedented decision. Extract Jake and kill the Rixhounds. Leave Jake on Verglas permanently, or break protocol and allow cross-species transport. They chose option 3, because denying entry to a human who domesticated predators in 90 days felt more dangerous than breaking rules. Jake boarded the shuttle with 4 Rixhounds. The largest domestication success in galactic history happened because one human refused to abandon his pack. The footage of him sitting calmly while 300-pound predators lay at his feet went viral across council networks. Every species saw it. Every species understood the message: humans don't play by our rules. The lead xenobiologist filed a report that became classified immediately. The summary leaked anyway. 3 sentences that explain why humans terrify the galactic community. Humans possess social flexibility that exceeds all known parameters. They form pack bonds with any sufficiently intelligent species. This makes them capable of building alliances we cannot predict or control. Jake Morrison didn't just survive Verglas. He colonized it emotionally. He turned a death trap into a home, and he brought back proof that humans could do this anywhere, with any species, on any planet. So what does all this mean for us today? The Council now debates whether humans should face restrictions on frontier worlds, because Jake proved we don't just explore new environments, we recruit them, and that changes the entire political structure of galactic expansion. Here's what happened after Jake returned. Earth's military tried to replicate his methods. They sent specialists to Verglas, trained survivalists with advanced xenobiology education. None achieved what Jake accomplished. The specialists treated it like a science experiment. Jake treated it like making friends. That difference mattered. The Rixhounds bonded with Jake because he approached them as individuals, not specimens. He learned their personalities, respected their boundaries, offered choices instead of forcing outcomes. This is how humans interact with animals instinctively. We see personality where other species see programming. The Council formed a committee to study human domestication abilities. They reviewed Earth's history, 10,000 years of turning wild animals into partners. Dogs, cats, horses, chickens, cows, pigs, bees, silkworms, camels, llamas, elephants. Hundreds of species brought into human society. No other galactic species had domesticated more than 3 animals. Most had domesticated 0. The report concluded humans possess dangerous social adaptability. We can integrate into almost any social structure. Learn any communication system. Build relationships across massive biological differences. This makes us ideal diplomats. It also makes us impossible to contain. Because if one human with basic supplies can domesticate apex predators in 90 days, what could organized human groups do? Could we build alliances with pre-spaceflight species the Council considers off-limits? Could we create multi-species colonies without Council approval? Could we fundamentally restructure frontier territories by befriending every predator we encounter? The answer to all these questions is yes, and the Council knows it. Earth's position in galactic politics shifted overnight. We went from junior members requesting permission to full partners who needed to be negotiated with. Because restricting human expansion became impossible. You can't stop a species that makes friends with everything it meets. Jake's recipe cards created another problem. Earth's food industry wanted them. Restaurants offering Verglas cuisine opened in major cities. People paid premium prices for dishes made from ingredients that technically should kill them. Human food culture absorbed alien cooking instantly. Because we're obsessed with novel flavors. The Council tried to regulate this. They claimed ownership of Verglas biological material. Earth's response was simple. Jake created those recipes using human knowledge. He transformed toxic plants into food through human ingenuity. We own the process, even if we don't own the planet. The legal battle continues. But the biggest implication is personal. Jake's story proves something important for anyone facing impossible situations. Humans solve problems by changing the rules. When the game says you can't win, we invent a new game. When the environment tries to kill us, we make it feed us. When predators threaten us, we make them family. This is our species' advantage. Not strength, not speed, not natural weapons. Adaptability combined with social genius. We can walk into any system and find a way to belong, to contribute, to turn strangers into allies. The 4 Rixhounds Jake brought back now live on a private reserve in Montana. They're healthy, well-fed. They still respond to Jake's commands. Xenobiologists visit weekly to study their behavior. The alpha female had pups last year. Jake helped deliver them. Those pups are the first Verglas animals born on Earth. They're being raised around humans, learning our behaviors from birth. In 20 years, those pups will be fully domesticated. In 50 years, Rixhounds might be as common as dogs. One human's 90-day survival test started a domestication process that will change 2 species forever. The Council fears this pattern repeating across hundreds of frontier worlds. Humans arriving, humans adapting, humans befriending local apex predators, humans building multi-species communities the Council never approved. It's not invasion, it's integration, and it's much harder to stop. Jake gave one interview after returning. The reporter asked what his secret was. Jake's answer became legendary. I just treated them like I'd want to be treated, with respect, patience, and good food. Turns out that works everywhere. Before we wrap up, there's one final thing you need to know. The Council discovered something in their final review of the Verglas footage. Something they kept classified for 18 months. Jake wasn't the first human to visit that planet. He was the second. 20 years earlier, a human survey team landed on Verglas for resource assessment. One member of that team, a geologist named Dr. Sarah Chen, went missing during the expedition, presumed dead by Rixhound attack. The team left without recovering her body. The incident was filed as a tragic loss. Nothing more. But the satellite footage review revealed something shocking. Dr. Chen didn't die. She survived. And in the deep wilderness zones where orbital cameras had limited coverage, there were signs of human presence, structures that matched human building techniques, fire patterns that suggested controlled burning, and during one brief satellite pass, a figure that looked human surrounded by Rixhounds. The Council sent investigators. They found Dr. Chen alive, living with a Rixhound pack. She'd survived for 2 decades using the same methods Jake discovered. Domestication through patience, integration through respect. She'd gone further. She'd learned Rixhound vocal patterns, created a hybrid language. Her pack consisted of 17 animals spanning 3 generations. Dr. Chen refused extraction. She considered herself a Verglas native now, part of the ecosystem. The Council couldn't force her. She hadn't broken any laws. She'd simply chosen to stay. Jake learned about Dr. Chen during his classified debriefing. The military asked if he wanted to contact her. He declined. He understood what she'd found. The same thing he'd discovered. That humans can belong anywhere if we're willing to learn, to adapt, to see other species as potential family instead of obstacles. The Council's worst fear was confirmed. When humans settle, we integrate. We don't conquer, we don't dominate. We join, and we bring everyone with us. This makes us impossible to predict, impossible to control, impossible to classify within their existing frameworks. Dr. Chen sent one message through official channels, addressed to Earth's government. 7 words that became humanity's unofficial motto for frontier exploration. We're not alone anymore. We're making friends. Jake keeps those words on his wall in Montana, right next to a photo of the alpha female and her pups. He gets visits from other humans preparing for frontier assignments. They ask for advice. He tells them the same thing every time. Bring good food. Show respect. Be patient. The universe responds to kindness. The Council opened 47 frontier worlds to human exploration last year, more than any other species. Not because they trust us, because they realized stopping us was impossible. Humans were going to explore, make friends, build communities. Better to regulate it than fight it. Jake Morrison never expected to change galactic politics. He just wanted to survive 90 days. But his refusal to see Verglas as hostile, his willingness to treat predators as individuals, his application of human social instincts across species lines. These simple choices revealed humanity's real power. We don't need advanced weapons to succeed in the galaxy. We don't need superior technology. We have something better, the ability to walk into any ecosystem and say, let's be friends, and mean it and make it work. The 4 Rixhounds sleeping on Jake's ranch prove it every day. The recipes served in Earth restaurants prove it. Dr. Chen, living wild on Verglas, proves it. Humans aren't just explorers. We're universal diplomats, and we're rewriting the rules of galactic civilization one friendship at a time. If this opened your eyes to what humans can really do, you need to hear what happened next. Let me recap the biggest takeaways from Jake Morrison's incredible story. First, humans possess mirror neurons and social flexibility that let us domesticate species other aliens can't even communicate with. Second, our digestive systems can process toxins that kill every other known species, making us capable of eating on almost any carbon-based planet. Third, we build relationships through respect and patience instead of dominance, which makes us natural integrators in any ecosystem. And finally, this isn't unique to Jake. Dr. Chen proved humans will instinctively choose connection over isolation, even when it means leaving civilization behind. These revelations change everything we thought we knew about humanity's place in the galaxy. We're not just another species asking for permission to explore. We're the species that makes friends with apex predators while creating gourmet meals from toxic plants. That's our real superpower. If this story fascinated you, hit that subscribe button right now, because I'm covering more incredible HFY stories that show exactly why humans keep shocking the galactic community. Next week, I'm revealing what happened when Earth sent negotiators to a war zone, and they accidentally ended a 1,000-year conflict using nothing but human psychology. You won't believe how they did it. Smash that like button if Jake's story made you proud to be human. Drop a comment telling me this. If you were sent to an alien wilderness for 90 days, what's the first thing you'd try to befriend? A predator? A herd animal? Or would you go full Jake Morrison and try to make friends with everything that moves? I read every comment, and the best answers get featured in next week's video. Here's something deeper to think about. Jake's success wasn't about special training or advanced equipment. It was about approaching impossible situations with curiosity instead of fear. That's a lesson we can apply right here on Earth. When you face something that seems hostile or impossible, ask yourself, am I treating this as an enemy or as something I don't understand yet? That mental shift changes everything. Share this video with someone who loves sci-fi or anyone who needs a reminder that humans are pretty amazing when we use our natural abilities. The algorithm loves shares, and honestly, more people need to hear stories about human ingenuity that don't involve violence or domination. We're better at making friends than making war. That's worth celebrating. Before you go, check out my video on the human who accidentally started a galactic trade revolution by introducing aliens to the concept of cryptocurrency backed by trust instead of resources. It sounds boring until you realize he crashed 3 alien economies and made Earth the richest planet in the sector. The link is in the description and on your screen right now. Join our community Discord if you want to discuss HFY stories with thousands of other fans. We do weekly story breakdowns, writing challenges, and we're building a database of every domesticated species humans have created. Current count is 317 and climbing. Link in the description. One final thought. The Council fears humans because we refuse to stay in the boxes they created. We're supposed to be mid-tier species, average strength, average intelligence, standard biology, but we keep doing impossible things by ignoring what's supposed to be impossible. Jake didn't know he couldn't domesticate Rixhounds in 90 days, so he just did it. What impossible thing could you accomplish if you stopped believing it was impossible? Think about that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay curious. Stay human.